Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about mermaids, and this is such a highly requested topic, you guys. You guys are always asking me to do a video on mermaids, and I honestly didn't really know much about it before I started researching it, and pretty interesting stuff here. I did want to let you guys know that really exciting. I am about to launch my merch in the next month. I'm just going to slowly release it throughout the month and the next couple months. I have so many different designs we're working on, and I just don't want to overwhelm you guys. So we're going to start with mermaid designs. If you're interested in purchasing the first official Kendall Rae merch, here it is. I think it's such a cool design, and what's awesome about it is by purchasing these, you are supporting my channel, which, as you guys know, I've been really negatively affected from the ad boycotts going on at YouTube and the new ad features where brands are able to opt out of any of these categories, which pretty much all my videos fall into those, so I get kind of screwed. And I'm so excited because all of my merch is going to be really cool stuff. Like, I don't want it to be like to Kendall Rae. It's going to be really cool designs. I have so many cool things coming in the next 2 months. I can't wait to tell you guys about it. But anyway, if you're interested in checking out the options with the mermaid thing, there's a couple different variations of the style, like on different items, so I'll put all that below and you can go check it out, and you can be one of my first merch customers. Pretty cool. Anyway, mermaids. Okay, so the whole mermaid thing obviously has been around forever. The just legends, it goes back to philosophers and pretty much cave people, okay? The idea of mermaids is nothing new, but the idea of mermaids existing now is kind of a newer thing. It really started getting attention when Animal Planet made this documentary. I know it's kind of weird, Animal Planet, and it was called Mermaids, the Body Found. And this was Animal Planet's most watched thing like ever. It has so many views, it like skyrocketed. Never had any other show or special perform as well as that. People are very interested in mermaids, and who wouldn't be? I mean, I'm fascinated by mermaids. When I was a kid, one of my favorite princesses was always Ariel. In the pool, like, I'd be splashing around pretending I was a mermaid and that I had a tail. I think the idea of being able to breathe underwater and still just be a person, not having masks, like just be your natural self breathing underwater, is just fascinating to people. There's a reason why we're so fascinated by dolphins and just sea creatures in general, and you know, why we go snorkeling and watch documentaries on it. I think we're all a little fascinated with the underwater world because the ocean is about 75% of the planet. We don't know how deep it goes at some points. We don't know what's down there. I mean, weird shit pops up all the time, and we've really barely scratched the surface of the ocean. I mean, truly, we've seen maybe, I think it's less than 5% of the actual ocean we've explored. Think of all the things that are down there. Think of, I mean, it's really crazy, isn't it? Some people believe that there are mermaids living down there and that they hide from humans, but they have like a whole, you know, world under there. And it's cool to think about. I definitely like the idea of it. So this show, I don't know if it's available on YouTube or anything online, but it basically follows this group of marine biologists who came up to a whale beaching, I think in Seattle. The documentary was pretty poorly done because they just were like, oh, and two boys stumbled across the whale beaching before anybody else, and they swore they saw a body, but they don't tell us who these guys are. There's no like police report evidence. They just say these two boys, like no names or anything. And these whales had horrible deaths because they were actually affected by a Navy sonar thing, and their ears like were bleeding when they found these poor whales washed up on the beach. But the people who made this documentary think that there was mermaids along with them, but they were removed because the Navy came first and before anyone could do anything. And they said once the Navy like surveyed the whole scene and left, they went down there and there was nothing done, and that the Navy didn't do anything. So it made them think that they were just removing something and taking it with them, which is totally possible. The NOAA actually has come out and said there's no evidence of humanoid species under the water. It just does not exist. There's no facts and no evidence. There's a lot of fake stuff on the internet. Honestly, the costume work is incredible. But if that was a real confirmed video, it would be all over the news. That would be huge, huge news, okay? There's this one famous video that claims to be all these mer people like swimming together. It was actually originally posted as a dolphin heard, and the user who uploaded the video originally before it's been ripped off so many times says that they were just dolphins, and that was a cool dolphin video that he posted to YouTube.
Check out these real mermaids. As you can see, those were real mermaids caught in Florida.
So anyway, when these marine biologists took the sound, the recordings of the whales, they could hear them like in terrible pain. I mean, really, really sad. But they also heard a sound that they hadn't heard before. And they think that the sound was possibly a mermaid, because the sound has only been on record one other time. So there is a theory, and it's called the aquatic ape theory. And it's kind of complicated, but basically the theory is that we all know about evolution, and you know, apes, and most of us in the scientific community at least believes that. And then there's the aquatic ape theory, which is, I've heard two different ways. Some of us ended up in the water somehow, like maybe trying to fish, and we like evolved into water species. Or people think that we didn't actually come from apes. We came from some type of marine animals that evolved into humans. The theory doesn't have a lot of scientific support from the community. It's pretty controversial and widely believed to just not be true, but it is possible, and it's an interesting theory. But a lot of people think that if the aquatic ape theory is true and we really did come from the ocean, that would make sense for why our hands are slightly webbed. If you look at your hands, I bet you didn't know you had webbed hands and webbed feet, but we do. There's kind of like a little bit of pinch of skin between, you know, this part right here. But I don't know if that necessarily means that our hands were originally used to swim, but it's really, really weird to think about. Some people are actually born with a condition where their hands are webbed. We also have flexible spines, and we're able to kind of swim like this. Another interesting fact is that humans can hold their breath longer than like any other land creature. It's really, really bizarre. I can't hold my breath for shit, but the record holder for holding their breath is 20 minutes, I think. I don't know if that's updated, but I think David Blaine was underwater for like a really long time.
In an attempt to set a new world record underwater.
He's even having some extra heartbeats now. His heart rhythm is irregular, low oxygen in the body, and so his body's responding. He's in a survival mode right now.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Come on, David. He made it. He made it. Extra heartbeats are occurring right now.
17 minutes. Breathe.
We can hold our breath really, really well. Another piece of evidence that this documentary used I found was interesting was the use of spears. That over the years we found tons and tons of spears in the ocean, like in their like elaborate, nice design. People think that these are underwater weapons used by underwater people, but it's also possible that they were just weapons used by people over the years that have sunk. I don't know. I feel like I'm being so skeptical with this, and I want to believe in mermaids so bad. I'm open to it. You know, if they want to pop up anytime, I'm ready for it, man. I'm actually more open to the idea that there are aliens living underwater that are kind of like mermaids. So, but if they're just other humans like us, why wouldn't they want to like come up and say hi? I mean, that's kind of weird. There have been cultures that believe in mermaids for so long. If you look at, like I said, caves and Australia, you know, Aborigines, there's actually a lot of prominent figures in history that have talked about seeing mermaids. So I feel like that kind of throws people off too. Christopher Columbus, who wrote about seeing mermaids in his journal. Captain John Smith, you may know him from Pocahontas. He also claimed to have seen mermaids, you know, the real guy, not the blonde dude. They exist even in Shakespeare plays. Famous Greek philosopher Homer talked about them in his book, but he called them sirens, so you may have heard that before. So after doing all of my research, I really don't see much evidence for mermaids. There's just not enough for me to like fully believe it. Who doesn't want to believe in mermaids? I mean, they're like the best fantasy of all. People that can live in the underwater world that we can't even access. Pretty cool. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. This video was actually available early for my Patreons. They got to see it before anybody else. So if you're interested in becoming a Patreon, there is a link below to check it out, and check out our Patreon community, which has become a really cool tool for me. I absolutely love connecting with you guys on there. But anyway, that's it for me today, guys. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.